everybody. Derek here on a Friday evening. Sorry, we're starting a bit late. I was watching something on YouTube. Anyway, we'll jump into it. We're going to be looking at Citizen Sleeper today. No. Yes. Okay, anyway. Citizen Sleeper is a board game, visual novel kind of thing. Puzzler type deal. That's about it. That's about all I know about it. We'll find out how it actually plays. Okay, let me shrinky dinky. There. New game on the first slot. Choose character class. Okay. Without having played the game, I have no idea how this is supposed to work, but alright. Operator. An operator works with drones and high precision remote machines to perform complex tasks from a distance. Sleepers assigned to operator work are usually cerebral and precise people. Does that sound like me? No idea. Our perk is have a chance to gain cryo on interface actions, and we are mostly working on interface and not on endurance. What else we got? Extractor. Extractors work on resource extraction, often in hard vacuum environments. Sleepers assigned to extractor work are often confident, self-sufficient, and have a high level of endurance. Well, that's definitely not me. Okay, so high endurance, low intuition. Okay, that's it. That's it. Those are our classes. Alright then. Well, operator it is. How is everybody doing on a Friday evening? Or Friday morning? Or Saturday morning, I suppose, if you're in Australia, possibly. This is a long load time. This is what happens when you're playing on Switch. Come on. Come on already. Let's go. Speed it up. Things to do. Already started late. It's a very long it's a very long load time. Oh, okay. I think we're here. Audio's coming in. Okay. From unknown, where are you? First thing you become aware of on waking is the disconnect, the delay between thinking and feeling, between wanting to act and acting. Minor, almost imperceptible, but always present. It's at its worst when waking, when yourself has spent many dark hours recalling what it felt like to be real, to be a person, to be in a body that was indisputably yours. Think of that body. Aw, yeah, looking good. The cold slips in, behind and around you, and the sensations fade out of reach. Perhaps you should be thankful for the dulled nature of this new body, given your current circumstances. The walls of the container feel immediately present, cold, hard, at your back and face, cramping your limbs. Am I in a box? Resist the desire to stretch, knowing that the claustrophobia comes next, and retreat a little from your central nervous system. It isn't painful, not like you used to know pain at least. In emergency mode, pain is a message delivered with efficiency and ease, a reminder that harm is imminent. There is no insistent throb, no trembling nerves, just a warning delivered with the banal quality of a digital notification. Right now, there are thousands of them. Cool. Remember the plan. Stick to the plan! You mostly remember that it wasn't a good plan, but then your options were limited, and once you got the itch to get out by any means possible, it was either that plan or something much worse. It was at least simple. Collapse the shaft, drift away in the chaos, slip into cargo processing, seal yourselves into containers, then just hope the freighter left before you were missed. Some were lost in the shaft. Others never found the meeting point. Only a few made it to the containers. But the freighter, as far as you know, left. That feels like enough. Enough to know that you might no longer be on that grim and heartless rock. Even if in the airless hold of a freighter, you might freeze solid long before you reach any destination. Wait for the cold, try to rest. But you are restless. Okay, no rest for us. It has been a long time since you left, surely weeks, maybe months. You are dully aware of damage to your legs, your right arm. You've been reserving energy as much as possible, but even then your body has shut many of its systems down to protect you. You have spent much of that time asleep, knowing that anything else would be impossible to endure. Feel the weight of that impossibility begin to gather. It is time to sleep again, to nudge this false body into inducing delta waves in your emulated mind, and once again recoil into a dream of when you were once a person. Rest. Time passes, the cold creeps further in. Feel something. Warmth. Not true warmth, but the indication of its pressure. Your joints release from their rigor. Sound, too, everywhere, screeching and shimmering so loud that your body ducks your hearing to protect its sensors. Then light, white as the cold, and softer, until in a haze of dirty yellow a figure appears. You are out. It's the opposite of hacker voice. Dragos. Pragmatic salvager? Okay, what else can we go? Zoom. Zoom. We're on like a space station, maybe? Dragos. Pragmatic and private salvager. It's been a few hours since Dragos pulls you from the container. You sit huddled in a corner of a scrapyard, swaddled in the reflective folds of a mylar blanket. You are slowly coming back to consciousness, back to life, and you stare at the ornately curving element of an improvised heater. You are surrounded by angular, incoherent lumps of ships, some corroded beyond recognition, others still carrying glassy wounds along their edges where a plasma arc sliced them apart. As you trace their shapes with fogged eyes, you hear a voice. So, sleeper, you all thawed out? Almost. Never seen one of you come in like this. New frames must have better perseverance in Sub-Zero vac. Seen more than a few of you frozen solid to hull plates, inside outer locks in my time. They weren't so lucky. Dragos comes into focus, shrouded in makeshift tech, his headset with its glinting eyes the mark of a drone operator. On his shoulder, one of his symbiotically linked drones perches its irising eye. Irising? Irising is a verb? Okay. Irising eye locking you with an unflinching stare. So it's like focusing and unfocusing and whatever, like an aperture, I guess. Last living sleeper that came through this yard was a while ago. They didn't last long. You struggle to read his expression beneath the tech, but he seems lost in memory for a moment. Perhaps he's just figuring out what to do with you. I plan to survive. You aren't sure if he hears you. Oh, ask what led you to it. Sell yourself to a corporation. I suppose you know you can't go back. Your old body, that's theirs now. You are just software. Rogue emulation illegally possessing corporate property. You're not alone. You remember biometrically signing the forms, the cold floor on your feet as you padded to the sleeper cells. The promise of a life off-world, but as you do, you get the now familiar sensation that these aren't your memories. These are things you know, but not things you feel. You are no longer that person. You are an offshoot, a copy. For fuck's sake, we just finished playing Soma, and it looks like we've done it again. What you won't know is what's ahead. At least the last one didn't. There's no easy way to put it. That body of yours is falling apart. It's the same for any sleeper who makes it out. S and ARP wants to protect their property. But if they can't keep hold of you, well, then no one can. You remember that too, or at least rumors of it from the other sleepers. Planned obsolescence, a built-in dependence on the regulatory administered supplements that were part of your routine. Stop taking them and your body begins to shut down. Separate from your emulated mind. How long has it been? How long do you have? For now, sleeper, you're one of the lucky ones. Dragos glances up and away towards the glassy dome of the yard. The eye is the best place you could be right now. The eye? The station. You'll see soon enough. Dragos impatiently shifts his weight. Look, I've got things to be getting on with. Trails off. As an old freighter container, I've been using a storage out in the stacks. Haven't been pulling much valuable scrap these days, so you're welcome to it. Something wells up inside you. Emotion. Fatigue. Shakily get to your feet. And then you nod, I guess. Alright, you head on up there. You look like you need some rest. And with that, Drago stalks back into the Rex. His drones already converging on a rusting hulk. Plasma flashes silhouetting his spindly figure as he returns to work. Tutorials. Welcome to Erlin's Eye. Life on the Eye runs in cycles, during which you can talk to characters, explore areas of the station, and perform actions. At the end of each cycle, you need to head to your current home to rest. Resting will move time forward on the station. Head to the empty container location to rest and end this cycle. Select locations with the things. Okay. Assume that's our house. that selected? It's hard to tell if that's selected or not. Oh, now it's selected. Weird. Alright. End cycle. All cycles need to end. Rest and prepare for the next one. Okay. You wake, curled up in the corner of the container, and begin slowly assembling the world around you. For all this time, you still find this body, the one you wake in now, strange and disjointed. Its message is readable, but somehow wrong. You sit up, pulling the mylar blanket close against the cold. Here you are, on this ruined station, millions of miles from anyone you know. Are you still in the system? Did any of the others make it out? It's impossible to know. After all this, what matters? What do we want? To escape? It sounds like we've already escaped, really. So, getting answers to what? No? Finding out if anyone else made it, I guess? Is it really important? They're going to be in the same position you are. I think building a life. Maybe you did get lucky finding yourself here. Maybe here, on the edge of everything, is a life for you to build. Before you can build anything, you'll need to learn to survive. Maybe if you can do that, you can make a life for yourself. Dragos has left a few comforts in the container. Mylar blanket, the bedroll you slept on, canister of water, makeshift electric stove, and some faded sachets of some desiccated powder. Ah, delicious instant noodle powder. You thumb the power stud on the stove and begin to boil the water. The contents of the sachet smells like damp wood, and you sprinkle them into the liquid. The pungent smell washes over you. Images of your restless sleep come back to you. A ring, like the station, but skeletal and ghostly. A web of threads pulling at your skin. A constellation of bright polygonal shapes, like angular suns burning into your mind. Wow, weird dream. There's something unpleasantly visceral about these images, and it is long after you finish drinking that they begin to fade. You tidy away the stove as best you can and try to gather enough energy to greet the day. Same. Okay, tutorial. Condition, action dice, and energy. Condition. Your condition represents the current state of your artificial body. It depletes by one segment each cycle, but can also be damaged by violence, injury, or lack of food. If your condition bar empties, you will suffer a breakdown. You'll have to figure out how to recover your condition now that you no longer have access to corporate pharmaceuticals that were keeping you alive. Right, no coffee. No coffee, no antidepressants. Nothing else. Action dice. At the start of each cycle, you roll your action dice. These dice can be used to perform actions on the station. The number of dice rolled is based on your current condition. The worse your condition, the less dice you have. The fewer dice you have, should be. Once you have used your dice, you cannot take any further actions and must rest to recover them, ending the current cycle. Okay, so your condition influences how many dice you roll, and the number of dice influences how many actions you can take in a given cycle, or a day, I guess. Energy. You also need to eat to survive. This is represented by your energy bar. You can refill your energy bar by eating. First, you'll have to find somewhere to actually eat, and currency to buy it. Boo, give me free food. Your energy depletes by 2 segments each cycle. If it becomes empty, you will be starving, and your condition will deplete at a double rate per cycle. Okay, so yeah. You need to eat, basically. You need to eat, you need to maintain yourself, and so on. So our current condition is flickering, I guess. As you can see, well, this might just be the tutorial image. Maybe what's our real one? No, that's our real one. Okay. So we are flickering. So I guess we don't get the benefit of 1 extra dice that we could have had. And now that's the dice we rolled. So we've got a 6, a 3, a 1, and a 6. Not great. 2 6s are nice, but the rest of it's not particularly amazing. And it looks like we're pretty hungry, so we should probably do something about that. I don't see any actions. That's our character. So we are +1 on interface. So we have a chance to gain cryo interface actions, and we're -1 on endure. So we're not going to be great at anything that requires any physical actions, I guess. Alright, items? Cryo, cryptocurrency. Oh, Christ. Cryptocurrency stored in air-walled sticks of memory known as chits. So cryo is currency. Okay. I don't think we have any data. I think that's what it's telling us. Leave? Dragos stood in the corridor when you close up the container. He's still wearing the headset, and in the harsh light of the corridor, you realize it is implanted. A drone sits on his shoulder. Its cache of sensor eyes rapidly irising. Irising is... I don't think that's a verb, but okay. How are you feeling? Okay, I guess. The drone chirps. Good to hear. You notice that beneath the operator's rig, his skin is marked by burns and blotches. No, the container isn't much, but it'll keep you safe. He pauses. So, I'm not going to chit-chat too long. You well enough to work? Sure. Alright then, he nods. At the yard, it's simple stuff. We hack these old hulls down, sell them off to the shipyards or the black market dealers for cryo. Occasionally, we pull out some tech. Something with a bit more value, but most of what comes in is scrap. It's hard to find good hands here, but figure as a sleeper, you'll be used to the manual labor. And obviously, I'll slip you a few chits of commission based on what you turn up. Chits? No, we know what chits are. It's money. Got it. He shuffles his feet nervously. Look, I wouldn't usually do this. In my opinion, you'd be best suited moving on as quick as you can. Sleepers, well, he trails off. But things being the way they are for me at the yard, I need the help. Happy to. Okay. He pauses, thinking of something else to add. Look, just come down to the yard when you're feeling fresher. There's plenty to do. Will do. He nods distractedly and turns and walks away, the drone hopping along ahead of him. See you later, he calls back. Looks like it's time to get to work. Go to work for the day. Alright, which way is work? There, presumably. Okay. Dragos' yard. Makes sense. There shouldn't be an extra S after the apostrophe. If you're apostrophizing a word that ends in S, or a name that ends in S, you don't need to add the extra S. Anyway. Okay, actions. Actions are the primary way you interact with the world of Citizen Sleeper. To perform an action, select the things, and then choose an action dice to assign. Okay, so you've rolled your dice ahead of time. So you're not rolling them as you do the action. You've already rolled them at the beginning of the day, and you just assign the dice you want. Actions reward you with clock progress, energy, condition, or items depending on their outcome. There are 3 types of outcome. Positive, the action goes better than expected. Neutral, the action succeeds. Negative, the action fails. Action dice affect these outcomes as follow. 6-sided, or roll a 6, 100% positive. Roll a 5, 50-50. 50 positive, 50 neutral. 3 and a 4 are 50 neutral and then 25 for positive and negative, and then a 1 and a 2 is 50-50 for neutral and negative. Well, at least there isn't 100% negative, because that would be like, why even bother with the 1 pip? It'd be like, why would I ever use it? So that's their way around that, I guess. Okay, actions display information about their type, risk level, and the skill and modifiers that apply to that action. Type, either critical or repeatable. Critical actions can only be performed once. Makes sense. Risk, either safe, risky, or danger. Safe actions, no loss of condition, energy, or cryo. Risky, negative outcome means cryo or energy loss. Danger, negative outcome means condition loss. Negative outcome can mean cryo or energy loss. So really, really bad. Dangers are like, you probably shouldn't do this one. Skill, the skill that the action requires. Either engineer, interface, endure, intuit, or engage. And a modifier, -1 to +2. This is added to the action dice when slotted and improves its value. Some actions require a +1 to perform, so you actually need to have some skill in endurance to do it, or something like that. It also means that you can use like a pip 5, and if you have a +1 onto it, it becomes a pip 6, and that's a like 100% guarantee. Okay, so what are we gonna do? We've got a risky and we've got a safe, but it requires endurance, which we can't do. So we're not doing that. Oh no, we can do it. It's just it'll -1 to whatever we put in there. It's probably not the best idea. Hull dissection. Even the rustiest hull can hide valuable components and materials. Extracting them means cutting carefully and skillfully. We could put a 6 in there and be fine, presumably. Debt called in. Dragos is tied up in something ugly, and if he misses a payment or 2 things... If he misses a payment or 2, things could get nasty. A comma needs to be in there somewhere. Back in business. Every salvager knows they are always just one lucky haul away from their next payday. Okay. So, endure, it's a -1, which throws it into a 50-50 if we use a 6. So that's not great. On the other hand, we could throw a 6 into this one. It's risky, but we're never going to fail it because it's a 6. So let's do that. Let's use the 6. 100% piece of shit. No, 100% positive, I think is what they mean. Alright, go for it. Okay, clocks. Actions often progress clocks. Clocks are displayed below the actions that fill them, and they track your actions and how they affect the world. Filling a clock means something good or bad is about to happen. Some clocks, such as the one tracking Dragos' debt, are cycle clocks. These clocks tick themselves once each cycle and can complete without player input. Any active cycle clocks will be displayed on the icon for that location. Okay, so the bottom two things are like events happening in the world, I guess. Manual salvage. It's going to take some time to sort and cut your way through the towers of salvage, but you are no stranger to hard labor or... Like, there's nothing else for us to do. I presume we've done... It's a repeatable action, though. We could keep doing this one. This is a safe, though, so it would be okay. Fine. Wait, no. Tutorial, drives and navigation. In Citizen Sleeper, you will unlock drives as you discover more about yourself and the world. Drives guide you in pursuing specific objectives, depending on which path you wish to take. You can track drives, and any tracked drive will place a yellow marker on locations that will help you pursue your goal. Access your drive menu with that. You are now free to explore Erlin's Eye and make a life for yourself here. Try tracking a drive to help you survive. Look for food to keep your energy up and a way to recover condition. Fill clocks to progress stories and find new opportunities. Remember to end the cycle at your home and you are out of dice. Wondering, can you end the cycle even if you don't have? Like, because I don't want to use the 1 pip on anything. Scroll the station with the thing, or the things, and then do the things. Got it. So, let's not do that, and let's try to go... Can I leave? So... We need to find a doctor. Let's see if we can find one. You need access to corporate pharmaceuticals, otherwise this escape attempt will come to a rapid end. Find a doctor. Toggle tracking. So track this. No. We were tracking it. Okay, now we'll track it. There? No, there. Duck C4, Rotunda Wet Duck. Or the Rotunda, or... Duck B2, Rotunda Wet Duck. Oh, this one's closest, so let's try this. Merchants willing to run the gauntlet of the Helion system are rare, but those that do always return eventually. Okay, so there's nobody here right now, I think is what it's telling us. So let's try the next one. Also, still nobody here. It takes several cycles to reach the Starwood Belt. In return, loaded with scraps from the old wrecks. Okay, there's nobody there. What's up here? Low-end gate. Bright market. Okay, so this isn't ready yet, I guess? Getting to know the Rotunda doesn't just mean new places to visit, it means keeping your eye on new arrivals too. Havenage watch list. Havenage run the Rotunda and their security watches the docks. Better to avoid attracting their attention. Alright, so that's like doing risky stuff, probably. So we have steel dock plans. It's a danger one, but on the other hand, we do have a 6 dice, which means it's a guaranteed success. But it will probably push Havenage watchlist up. We Could just explore it ourselves. Let's try somewhere else, maybe. Shipyard, the construction yards. Okay, yard hand. The only way to get to know the shipyard is to work there. No tourists here. Okay, engineer and endurance, which we are not good at either. A bright market. Ask for directions. Why wander when there are hundreds of people that live and work within the bright market? All you need is the courage to approach them. I don't really have much of that. Or just explore the market. The smells, sounds, and buzzing activity of the bright market make it a dizzying place to wander, but an enticing one too. Local knowledge. Is the yellow dot only above... Okay, so the yellow dot is only above this one, which presumably means this is how we find a doctor. So what we can do is use the 6 dice on the danger one, because it's guaranteed, so the danger is irrelevant. And we've maxed out the local knowledge thing. You end up at a drink stall debating the finer points of the Solheim collapse. You try to remember all the tips your companion offers you. Bright Market is the busiest part of the eye's lower rim. You can find anything and everything here. So... done, I guess? Did that help us find a doctor? Yes, it did. Okay. So we can get into Sabine, the slum doctor. Next comes the call from the enforcer at the door. You shuffle down the flickering hallway towards the open apartment door. Keep your head down and your shoulders high in the queue, trying not to bring attention to yourself. You were thankful for the tip-off that a doctor was operating out of this place, but now you are here, you aren't so sure. Gang enforcer on the door, the flickering light strips, the decaying hab block. They have all made the long queue a test of your nerve. But your options are few, and without a supply of stabilizers, this body, your body, will. You suppress a shiver and shuffle forward to the front of the queue. Try to find something to distract yourself. Look inside, look at the enforcer, look inside. You lean against the doorframe and look into the apartment. The entryway is dark, punctuated by the green indicators of stacks of sealed containers. You lean in and see amber light filtering through a far doorway, screened with plastic sheeting beyond which blurred shapes move. The slap of the enforcer's palm against the doorway jerks you awake. Wait your turn, he growls. A few moments, a figure pushes through the doorway and you catch a distant voice. Send the next one in, Toshiro. The enforcer jerks his head, and you slip inside, passing through the dark entryway and pushing through the plastic sheeting on the far door. The room beyond is bathed in warm light. Floor-to-ceiling transparent panel gives a full view of the bright market's sealed roof and the buzzing traffic above. For a moment, you are transfixed by the motion. Come, sit, comes a sharp voice. You see a silhouetted figure turn away. Placing the plastic sheeting over the frame of a simple folding bed, you make your way across the room. Figure turns, and as they do, you see an expression of confusion flash across their features. They open their mouth as if to speak, they blink, and then quickly regain their composure. Please sit. They gesture to the bed, then turn to an open case of tools on the table. You sit. Sabine turns, a compact diagnostic scanner of some kind in their hand. They hold it to their eye. Remain still, please. Their tone is clipped and businesslike. You stare ahead, still dazed from their expression when you entered. Fear, recognition, sadness, unmistakably etched across their face. How long have you been on the station? They ask, the scanner still to their eye. A few cycles. That's not true. Like 0, 1, 2, maybe? I don't know. Depends how long have we been in the case, I guess. Anyway, a few cycles. They nod. It's good you came to me. They set the diagnostic scanner on the table. I'm going to start by assuming you don't know anything. You take your arm and roll up your sleeve, inspecting your synthetic skin. Your body is dying. They say it without ceremony, without drama, but not without empathy. SNRF doesn't like to see its proprietary technology let loose to prevent bodies like yours, frames, as they call them, from being stolen, repurposed, or in your case, escaping. They built in a process of so-called planned obsolescence. Frames decay rapidly when not regularly injected with stabilizer, one which SNRF remains the sole producer of. Sound familiar? Yes. Good, that may help. I swapped your other arm, running some thin metal device over your skin. You feel your forearm tremble. I'm sorry, Sabine says. You're unsure if they mean for the cold touch of the metal or everything else. Emulations like you, sleepers as most people know you, aren't classified as people in any of the surrogate systems. You have no rights, no status. They focus hard on the inspection of your arm. And S&ARP has no reason to release Stabilizer into the market. Sabine looks up as if to apologize again, but they stop themselves. I know little of this is of use to you. They turn away, disassembling the metal instrument and cleaning it. Silence fills the room as Sabine works, and then the silence gives way to tension. You stare at their back, willing them to say something. Anything. Sabine turns to face you. I may be able to help. They sigh, and you see the darkness under their eyes, hear the fatigue in their voice. They gesture to the door. You saw Toshiro outside? You nod. He works for my benefactor, Yadagan. They are influential in the low end. They give me the space to work, run the door, take the profits. At the same time, I have to fix up their enforcers, tend to their implants, sew up their wounds. They look away. Yadagan has connections, smugglers from the Starward Belt, mercenaries working for the corporations on Ember. If they can source the stabilizer, maybe you'll have a better chance. Sabine sets down their slate, their notes complete. This is dangerous, and it'll be expensive. But I think we can do it. Why help me? Sabine walks away to the window, their face dappled by the shadows of passing drones. Let's just see if this works first. I'll let you know when I have a lead. You nod and leave. Sabine, still staring out, unmoving. When you reach the lower level of the market, you look back up through the panels of the roof to see if you can see their face. But the room looks dark against the lights of the market. You duck your head and walk off into the crowd. Well, it worked. Wait for Sabine to acquire the stabilizer. Alright then. Let's go back to help Dragos then, since we're here. Dragos? Okay, let's stick with the safe stuff, I think, now, because we're on trees. 3 and 1 isn't going to be great. But 1 will be very bad because it'll be 1 minus 1, 0. This is like guaranteed failure. Or maybe not. Maybe we'll do something else. Is there anything here that wasn't? No, they're all kind of risky or whatever. We any safes so I can use the 1 and not have to care about it. Sell components. We don't have an item. That's risky. Speed surgery. We can't do anything about yet. Emphas, a street food vendor, which is presumably the person we were talking to who told us to go to Sabine in the first place. Emphas is busy, his broad face uplit by the makeshift gas burner in front of him. Precise, delicate movements, he lays thick chunks of marinated fungus into a dented wok. His other hand idly tossing a metal bowl of sliced vegetables and some red fleck dressing. The smell is incredible. You watch as he fulfills a set of orders, heaping the fungus with the bright salad and depositing it in plastic trays. A stack of chits rattles in his apron pocket as customers file past the burner, handing over payment. Let's just watch. We don't have any... Well, we have some money, but we don't have a lot. Despite the queue, Emphas doesn't rush. He dresses each portion individually, squeezing precise slugs of liquid from an assortment of bottles into the bowl of torn leaves and bright slices before tossing them loosely together. Occasionally, a waiting customer might mutter something about efficiency, but Emphas remains steady in his process. After a while, the queue fades back into the crowd and Emphas sets down his metal bowl and looks up across the burner to see you watching him. I can feel your eyes burning a hole in my bowl. Free sample? Yeah, sure. Free food? Gestures needed. Come over. The smell is almost unbearably strong as he cooks. The earthiness of the fungus laced with something so spicy the smoke makes your eyes water. Excuse me. The heat from the burner is like a bonfire and your skin hardens in its glare. I know you sleepers, Emphas says while he cooks. His voice deep but clear. Oh, his voice is deep. Hang on. His voice is deep but clear. A hard life, a lot of stories. Glances up from beneath his cap with piercing eyes. I know. Tell him a story. Begin to tell him about your journey to the eye, and he nods as he cooks, his eyes never leaving his wok. You tell him of the confusion, the pain, but also the sense of possibility and its sudden arrival. Tell him of the cold and dark of the container and the endless cycles spent within it. Endless cycles? It's one cycle we've been there. Now it seems, you tell him, like some dream that you once had but can never forget. You tell him that the eye excites you and scares you. You are unsure where to walk, where to look, what to do. Eventually you tail off, running out of words. Places a plastic tray of steaming fungus in your hand. Next time, we can talk some more, he smiles. But next time, you pay. Sounds good. Slams a heavy hand against the button on the burner's side and it shuts off. Roar of the flame and its impressive heat fades. Next time then, sleeper. He waves you away and begins to oil the wok. Before you turn back to the alley, you notice the geometric patterns of circular scars across his forearms, each surrounded with a constellation of glinting pin marks. Are they like plugs or tubes or something? You walk away, and as you do, you take a bite of the rich, spicy, delicately sweet fungus. Mushrooms. Your taste sensors light up like a fusion reactor. You'll be back. Alright, and we got filled up. Nice. New drive discovered, which is what? Go back and get more food? Build a ship mind. Where did that come from? You've heard talk of a fabricator owned by the Ort Exchange. With that and a few fragments, you could build a ship mind core. Gain access to the Ort Fabricator. Get to know Emphas. Emphas loves two things, stories and food. If you supply him with both, you can hear his story. He'd go back and eat, yeah, makes sense. Dragos pulled you out of the salvage and set you up. Perhaps you can repay his kindness in time. Help pay off his debt. And then we gotta wait for Sabine to get back to us. You need access to corporate pharmaceuticals, yada yada yada. Okay, we can see what the low end gate has for us, I guess. Pay the toll, that's too much money, so we're not going that way. It's not too much money, but we don't have it, basically, is what I mean. Alright, there's not much left to do. Any of these safe? No. I don't want to risk a fuck up, basically. Alright, go on. We have a 50-50 that it'll either be neutral or negative. So, I don't know, flip a coin, basically. Neutral, okay. We got 10 cryo, we got some more back in business. Salvaging is brutal work, but you take no small sense of satisfaction from the ordered piles, and clear yard you leave behind. Okay. That's risky. We only have a single dice left. Die, rather. Dice is the plural. Is there anything left for us to do here? Let's go to bed. End cycle. All cycles need to end, rest, and prepare for the next one. Yeah, because I don't want to use that. Basically, I don't want to use that one pip on anything. Because it'll just end poorly. Unless we have a +2 or something. I think that's the only time I'd ever consider it. Alright, sleep. Alright, we've hit fading, which I guess means we only have 3 dice now. This time, you don't wake up. Instead, the ghost of the station, the shifting skeletal ring, surrounds you. For a moment, you are gone, absent from your own body, stretched out across a colorless void. Then the connections begin to establish themselves, threads tugging on the edge of your mind. These threads become vectors of exchange and then extensions as you feel your thoughts slipping away down them, dissolving into the millions of distributed nodes they connect to. See the station? No, you feel the station. A web of texture in a smooth black liquid. Observe it. Even though you have no eyes, no sight, you see and or feel the map of the station. No, not the map of the station, but the map of its connections. It is a looped cloud with spokes and spires that jut out in space. It is an ingrown thing full of obsolete loops and severed pathways. It is a system, a map, and a territory all at once. You notice a tugging feeling pulling at you, insistently, as if it were a small child. Somehow it is pulling in two directions at once. You look down. All of a sudden, everything shuts off. You come back, trembling into this unfamiliar body, both yours and not yours all at once. Find yourself standing in the container, eyes now open to the dark steel walls. You feel a change within you, a shift. Close your eyes for a second, and you feel it waiting there, the station splayed out across your mind, a storm of connective nodes waiting to be explored, and then it is gone. Woof. We did not get good rolls today. Okay, wait for Sabine to acquire the stabilizer. I guess we're still waiting on that. Go help. What's his face? Dragos. We could roll a 5 here. We might be okay. Flip a coin. Alright, we got the positive one. Grand. Beneath the pockmarked holes, you find hidden containers, alloy plating, and wire bundles thick as your arm, preserved in their trunking. Nice. Got some money. We are trying to get into the Ort exchange, so let's see what that is. Okay, we can sell some shit or play the exchange, which is risky. Can I actually sell anything? No, we have no items. Should probably have held off and used the 5 on this, but oh well. Presumably, Sabine surgery doesn't have anything for us. We gotta wait. Eat some food while we're here. Order fungus. It is 15 credits. Emphasis spice fungus is one of the few things potent enough to stimulate your limited taste sensors. It's incredible stuff. Cool. Alright, lost some money, but we got plus to fungus fan and filled up our hunger meter, I guess. Your mouth stings as your sensorium sends warning signals over and over. This is the good stuff. Okay. So we've pushed ahead on that. On get to know. Ship mind. We can't do because we don't have an item and our dice are not good enough to roll with that. Wonder how you get upgrades. I'm not sure how you actually get points. That hasn't come up yet. Could explore the rotunda, or we could try to get more money. That'll drop it. That'll drop it to a 2, and the risky one is 2. Again, kind of too risky. So let's do this instead. Oh no, that's risky as well. Shit. Fine, fuck it. We'll do the safe fucking one here. Even though it's only a 2. It'll end up being a 2. Yep. Is it still 50-50 if we do this one? Slightly better odds, but on the other hand, there's a risky to it. Whatever. Go on. Let's see how it goes. Alright, we got the neutral one. The rotunda's passages are dizzying, but out of intuition or sheer luck, you stumble onto a new location. Nice. The Overlook Bar. Grimy spacer haunt. You can buy shit. Tala keeps some expired Solheim rations behind the bar for those weary spacers who ask why the Overlook doesn't serve food. Or we can get a drink. You're unsure if your frame can metabolize alcohol, but this fungal drink fermented along the greenway seems like a good test. Let's find out. Okay, got some more energy, even though we didn't need it. We've added a bit more to Overlook Regular. Mossy tones and aniseed sharpness fills your mouth. It isn't totally unpleasant, at least you can taste it. The Overlook isn't exactly a restaurant, meaning the only way you'll gain trust around here is with a stiff drink. Okay, so buying food won't really get you anything. It'll get you some energy, I guess, and that's about it. And it's cheaper than emphasis stuff. And or you may not have actually met Emphas by now, which is also an option. You could stay here and just get hammered, but let's not waste our money. That was the wrong place. I did not mean to go there. Anything new to do here? No. So that's like a couple of days, I guess. That'll open into something. Still got a single pip die, which isn't great. And these are too risky. So back to sleep. We haven't found any way to fix our fucking failing body though, which isn't great. Should still be on 3 dice. Again, the skeletal ring of the station fills your mind. It sparks with glittering lights, like stars reflected in a winter lake. It is clearer, crisper than before. The threads still pull, but you remain in place, flickering in the flow. Between the threads, you see bright shapes, caches of shimmering light beneath transparent crystal forms. You follow the path of a thread across the ring, through these forms, then leaping off into the void. So there's ships we're looking at. You begin to understand. These are nodes and connections, a map of information, of communication. So many layers, so many loops, that it seems almost impossible to parse. But you begin to try. Focus on the nodes. The nodes are glassy, bright, but in all this flow, the only solid and fixed points. You approach one, a pyramid or a triangle. Dimensions are difficult here, and lean close to it. Inside, shifting layers conceal a tangle of threads. A meeting point of exchange. Before you can glimpse inside, the glass clouds and hardens, cutting you off. The threads and nodes, passages and puzzle boxes, one leads to another. There's so much here, so many answers, so many questions. All you need to do is follow the paths and open the boxes. You look out across this ghost landscape of exchange and see an opportunity. But then, that insistent tugging again, pulling at you. You look down again and see 2 lines, 2 threads pulling in different directions. They were tied around you. Fucking flip a coin here. The first one, I guess. First thread leads out, away from the station, into the inky black. Someone out there is tracking you, hunting you, following the thread to you. They're in a ship, and the ship is approaching ever closer with each cycle. The second thread leads in, pulling deep into the station. Your gaze follows it, and this time you see something. A sphere shimmering above a strange angular body. Pulse shoots out from it, passing over you like a torch beam, testing you, tasting you. Gross. You open your eyes. Time is short. Alright, we gotta get out of here. We gotta get out of this section, I guess, before that ship arrives. Whoa, those are bad dice. Those are bad dice rolls. Tutorial, the cloud. Something has changed inside you. You can now access the data cloud of the Eye, a network of decaying protocols and data caches. While there, you can use dice and items to access systems and extract data, but be careful, these networks are old and strange. Press the button to toggle the view on and off. Havenage Agent. Keynotes. Havenage Agent. What is that? Havenage Agent. Jesus. Okay. Data actions allow you to extract data from the networks of the Eye. They work like dice actions, but in order to unlock them, you must match your dice to the one displayed on the right of the action. Okay, again, another way to use your shitty dice is to come in here and maybe the one you can match. If you have a +1 or +2 modifier in the interface skill, you will be given more possible dice to match. You can use any dice that matches the dice displayed. Once unlocked, the data can be extracted. A Havenage member is broadcasting on the open network from here, leaving them open to data extraction. Well, you dumbass, you should never, kids, never connect to a public Wi-Fi, ever. Just never do it. It's bad news. Well, we have it too, so we can bypass it, I guess. Can we? It's +1ing it to 3, so hang on. We can probably use the 1 instead. No? I don't understand. But but okay. Oh, that's our perk coming into effect, I guess. Okay, we have gotten some havenage data. I don't know what that means, but we've done it. Okay. Havenage agent, key node numbers. A lone connection feeds into this isolated node. Its last access timestamp is 1,000 cycles ago, 1,000 days ago. Well, we got a 1, so... Got an encrypted key. Okay. As you drift back from the node, something latches onto you. A thread strung tight around you. It tethers you in place. A taste. The voice makes you shiver. Its source somehow both distant and close behind your ear. You see a distant glint of light shut off, and then suddenly a shape is at your side. It stalks around you, circling like a shark, like a wolf. Entity unknown. Astringent. Processing. Stay still. Please hold. Thread around you thickens until it is a ring, a cylinder, a tunnel of light circled around you. It is blinding for a moment, and then it is gone. As it fades, you see a figure, a creature in front of you. Its strange head flickers between different angles, reading you. A hunter, a sentient protocol, unraveling. Great. What are you? I imagine it's some kind of ye olde, or not ye olde, but a antivirus, some kind of security thing, I guess, that's been here too long or something like that. What did you do? Shape passes around you on lithe legs, though there is no ground here to pace on. Entity, identify, origin, serial, cadence. Figure faces you expectantly. Sleeper, I guess. SNARP? Unknown. Known. Figure's strange head rotates. Brackish signature. Of and not of. Attempting interface. As the figure speaks, more threads begin to spiral from its head. Thick, snaking, vine-like ribbons that flex and wave. They approach with intent. Get the fuck out of here. You kick off and glide away through the cloud, threads surging after like predatory tentacles. They follow, wrapping the space around you until you are held within a web. A tangle of tentacles closing in. Well, great. Running was pointless. Stop. Hunter halts its threads, its head twitching. Entity, your identity is unknown. Only seek to correct illegalities. Can you confirm your legal right to sentience? No, I'm a person. Incorrect. You are an entity. All at once, Hunter's head is directly in front of yours, blocking your vision. You stink of their taste, the one from the sealed dock. Hunter shimmers with fury. I will find access. I will interface. I don't understand. An entity hides in the rotunda. You are its puppet. Hunter extends a razor-edged thread. I will not be diverted from my task. It glows with murderous intent. Punch it in the face. You lash out with all your force. Not a physical strike, but a focusing, a spike of interference leaping out like the tip of a spear. Hunter stumbles, shifts, and separates. You wake up. You open your eyes, blinking back into the station light, shaking with fear. Okay, well, we're not safe in there. What else can we do? We could go back and get a drink. Or we could get some fungus. Get some fungus? Get some fungus. Okay. Emphas doesn't trust people easily, but he notices his regular customers in his own quiet way. Alright. That's that. On the other hand, we will not be able to buy that again unless we do some work. We don't have great options here, though. It's safe, though, so we should be okay. Alright, we got the neutral outcome anyway. Plus 10. More back in business. And that's the dice done, so back to sleep. End cycle. out of 5. Hunted. Someone out there is tracking you, following your trail. It won't be long before they arrive. So we have this length of time, which is what? 8 days? 8 cycles to probably make like 60 credits so we can get out of this area and move somewhere else. As you close up, a voice echoes down the corridor towards you. Sleeper, wait up. Turn. Fang is coming down the corridor towards you, a wonky grin on his broad face. Hey, glad I caught you. Do I know you? He grins. You do now. Puts a hand on your arm. I've seen you hanging around. Just want to chat. You staying in that thing? He nods back to the container, shaking his head. Rough. Be hard to get a start on the eye. He looks away down the passage. What was it old Erland said? The eye opens for us all. Nice idea, but well, not always very practical. Glances back at you. We do our best, but it isn't easy. We pass together into the main walkway. Havenage. We're all one dysfunctional family. Fang puts an arm around you. I'm not part of the security branch, though. Don't worry. I'm with systems. Systems. Everything the eye runs on. He runs a hand along the passage wall. This place is a ruin, but systems keeps it spinning somehow. At least we try to. He stops you in the quiet passage. Look, that's not what I'm here to discuss. Saw you around, and well, I know a little about you sleepers. A little proposition for you. Glances around. This better not be his dick. But, well, this is not the place for it. I have an office just across the way. Give me a cycle or two to prepare, then when you're settled, stop by. I don't have a cycle or two. I'm fading. He lowers his voice and gives you a dark look. In truth, I need you. What they say is true about you sleepers. Well, there's work to be done. Pats you on the back, his voice bright, and his dark look suddenly gone. Stay clean, sleeper. Walks off down the passage, raising a hand in farewell. Stay clean. Okay, can help Dragos. Risky, 50-50. Shot. Nice, okay. We can also buy a vial of stabilizer, so we should probably do that. Okay, I guess Sabine has come through for us. First thing you see on entering is the glint of Toshiro's implants, like a cat's eyes. In the dark of the corridor, he nods you in as you arrive at Sabine's door. The entryway is still dark, and you push through the sheeting into the surgery. I have it. Sabine stands with the case open in front of them, a set of vials lined up inside, separated by foam inserts. They pick one up, rotating it in the warm light. I have no idea how Yadigan. They trail off. You should treat this with caution. Looks authentic, but I have no idea if it really is what it appears to be. So I'm the test case. Seems to be the case. Fortunately, I'm not sure we have another choice. They gesture for you to sit on the bed. She's not wrong. Stabilizer works under a similar principle to an immunosuppressant in a transplant operation, in that it stops your body from rejecting the unfamiliar part of itself. In case of your frame, the unfamiliar part is each of your biosynthetic organ groups, which over time are identified by your body as foreign material and therefore must be eliminated. Sabine holds up a vial of the would-be stabilizer. However, unlike an immunosuppressant, the stabilizer doesn't do this by limiting your entire immune system. Instead, it re-encodes your biosynthetic organs with new protein chains, which act as passcodes within your immune system. The stabilizer refreshes those passcodes, keeping your frame from ejecting all of its own organs. Which means the stabilizer should be able to encode any organic or biosynthetic matter to be accepted by your immune system. Whoa, I can have different organs. If I wanted to. Could replace organs? You glance away. At least if the stabilizer is genuine, the only way to know for sure is to inject the vial. Begin readying the syringe. I will start with a small dose to limit the risk. Okay. Sabine cracks the glass neck of the stabilizer vial and uses a syringe to extract a fraction of the liquid. Tap the syringe and you watch as if any sign might emerge from the clear liquid. You barely feel the needle, your frame registering the initial injection but with little response. Sensation begins to spread from the site, a fizzing, trembling wave that disperses through your arm with incredible speed. Your vision goes white, and when it returns, Sabine appears encased in shards of sparkling light that slowly fade into darkness as you settle back against the bed. Oh, it's some good shit. You swim in darkness, muffled noises, like an argument heard from underwater, prickling waves of cold. When you sit back up, Sabine is sitting in a chair by the window facing away from you, backlit by the glow of their slate. Awake, Yes. Stabilizers is genuine. They sit down beside the bed. I don't know how Yadagan acquired a case of this stuff, but they did. Sabine looks troubled, distracted. You should rest some more, but you are going to have to do that somewhere else. He gestured to the door. I have other patients. Sorry. Sabine nods towards the case. I'm afraid I can't offer you any more doses. You're going to need to pay for your next dose. Silence fills the room, and they return to their glowing slate. Looking around the room, it seems different somehow, as if things have moved or shifted. You wonder how long you have been out. Sabine, nothing comes free, sleeper. Remember that. You manage to get to your feet and wander out into the hallway. The queue stretches down the flickering corridor. Toshiro stands impatiently by the door and fixes you with a glare as you leave. You lower your eyes as you stumble past, somehow faintly aware of the station spinning beneath you. Well, we're back to being stable, so that's good. We'll get 5 dice, and then next time we go to bed, we should eat. So we have enough money to get some more delicious fungus. Nice. Okay. We're back to full energy. We've worked today already. We could what can we do? See if there's anything in this thing. Alright, Solheim Gate. What's happening here? We need data, which I don't think we have. This gate conceals a network of systems which have been untouched since the Solheim collapse. Input a Solheim cipher. We don't have that. Where are we? Hunter's on his way back, I think. Or he's appeared on the thing anyway. Keynode 1 something something something. We need a 2. We have a 2. Okay, cool. The data here is part of a cache tucked away during the collapse. Who did this and for what purpose? Right, got some money out of it too. Alright, extract Z data. We got an encrypted key. Alright. We got 2 of those now. Can't do anything of the Solheim thing. We have a 3. This node is orbited by the remains of a corporate countermeasure, broken long ago by hackers. Sure, it's our last die. Another encrypted key. Give me the fucking Solheim cipher or whatever. Alright, let's get out of here. Oh, we actually can't do anything else, so we can leave. We can sell items at the exchange. No, we can't? Do they not count as items? No, they count as data. Okay, that makes sense. Right, that's us for today, so let's go back to bed. Alright, at least this time we should start with 5 dice. Good rolls, too. Okay. A thing. Fang. He said a day or 2. That's 1 day. Why didn't he say cycle? Either. Sleeper! Fang catches your attention as you approach the Havenage building, leaning against the bay door to the side of the entrance. You approach. Easier to come in this way, security and all that. Gives you a look. You know. Slams a button and the bay creaks open, blinking lights in the dark behind it. You follow Fang inside. Truth be told, I don't spend much time upstairs. This is where I work. The door hisses as it closes behind you. The bay is filled with pieces of hardware, all rigged up to generators and diagnostic slates, and things you don't recognize that glow with blue screen light. There's a chorus of hums that blends into a single wave of static, filling the dark corners of the room. Fang leans on a server stack. Don't do that. Kids. Kids don't lean on server stacks. And gestures around you. You like it? It's incredible. Smiles widely. I thought you'd say that. Taps a nearby server stack, which bleeps in response. This is why you don't do it. This is my treasure trove, all dredged up from the sea of systems we call the Eye. You wouldn't believe what this place runs on. He steps over to a towering block speckled with vents. Some of these systems are from the original station. The one Solheim built. We've had to invent new components, repair things we've never built, and reverse engineer entire subsystems into existence. Residents here look up at the eye and think they are seeing a constant concrete reality. This place is a system in constant flux, decaying and growing, collapsing into new configurations. He walks down between the hardware stacks and you follow. We are keeping this place alive, but also remaking it into something new, dragging it away from these corporate origins. He stops. At least that's what I'm trying to do. He turns back to face you among the flickering machines. They hum all around you. I know you can see this too, Sleeper. All these systems and sections. You can, can't you? I can, technically. Makes sense, right? You're between here and there, between the people and their systems. You light this place up like a beacon, and that's what I need. You glance at the lights around you, and as you do, they seem to flicker, to realign, to follow your gaze. That's creepy. Fang notices it too. I'm guessing being a beacon isn't always ideal when you're on the run, though. They are tracking me. Pats you on the shoulder. Maybe I can help with that. There's a lot of old growth in this place, subsystems I can't see, access protocols lost to time and decay, secrets, a shitload of secrets. Your help, I can unlock this place, break off those last ghost limbs of corporate control. Lowers his voice below the hum. Even in Havenage, there is old growth. Those whose roots trace back into the bad old days. You help me dredge up the past, and I'll see what I can do about that tractor of yours. He winks. What do you say, Sleeper? Yep. Fang pumps his fist and claps you on the shoulder. He meets your eye. You won't regret it, Sleeper. Fang passes you a ragged-looking metal tab. A gift, he smiles. It's a Solheim cipher. Yay! I dug it up from the depths of the station. Slot that into an old network gate and you'll be able to pull out all kinds of secrets from the nodes inside. He walks you back to the front of the bay. Start by bringing me whatever you can turn up. Use that emulated mind of yours to see what's there. Let's get a picture of how things are. Those above, he nods at the ceiling, granted me an acquisition budget. I can pay you for whatever useful data you bring in. I know you need it. It's not good to know that I need money. He slams the door button again. Keep it quiet and keep it clean, Sleeper. I'll see you soon. You step, blinking back out into the passage, those flickering lights still in the back of your mind. Alright then, we have a new drive, which is... extract the past. Fang wants to dig into old Solheim networks in search of secrets that could change the future of the station. Extract Solheim data for Fang. Or disable your tracker. Fang has said he will disable your SNRP tracker if he can get to the bottom of his mystery first. Right, seems like we should probably do that as quick as possible if we want to get anywhere in the game. Okay, so we know where that is. It's there, the Solheim gate. So we have a Solheim cipher. We have gate S7 access. With a squawk of noise, the old gate flips open, granting access. Guess we can get in. Yeah, there's a lot more places open up to us now. Okay. We don't have it too. Can't use that. The map is kind of weird because it doesn't always. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't always activate. Still don't have it too. Can't use that. Oh, you can just use the shoulder buttons to move as well. So that works. Needs a 1. We do have a 1, so we can do that. This node is leaking corrupted contractor lists from the early days of the system's Palladium rush. Right. Got some Solheim data. Nice. On the other hand, the hunter will probably catch us soon, so we should probably get out of here. So, can we go back to him? Fang's Bay. Deliver data. Fang will pay you well for any Solheim data you dredge up from the Eye's old systems. What he does with it is anyone's guess. Fang wants to get a look at what data is hiding deep in the subsystem's eye, so we can give him some of this. Okay, we got 15 cryo, which is enough to buy us some food. Fang's eyes light up as the data is transferred over. He hands you a stack of chits and waves you off. Okay, so we're gonna have to do that 2 more times. Presumably. Then we'll be good to go. Should probably help Dragos while we're here. We can do a risky. we've completed back in business, whatever that does. It takes you a while to get a handle on Dragos' equipment, but before long, you are precisely slicing down hull plates into neat piles. Okay, hopefully that has helped him in some manner. Oh, we can talk to him now. You arrive into a buzz of activity at the yard. Red, blinking lights flash across a vast dark shape suspended below the dome. They flicker across scorched hull plates and bent structures, spilling from holes in the twisted shape. The cutter is huge and has been torn apart in some violent encounter. She's a beauty, isn't she? Dragos stands to the side, focused on the hulking ship as it is lowered into the yard. She is. I should thank you. This place was on its last legs when you turned up. And now look at this. The ship descends slowly, its interior visible through multiple hull breaches. You struggle to gather the same enthusiasm as Dragos for this monstrous craft. You can't help but think of what became of its crew. What happened? What do you mean? Glances at you. Managed to convince our salvager friends to give it to me on credit. That's what happened. Now what happened to the ship? Not my concern, he shrugs. The ship creaks like a calving iceberg as it reaches the base of the yard. Dragos is visibly excited. I know I said you shouldn't stick around, but I'm gonna need some help with this one. Drones start to crawl over the hulk, their lights illuminating flashes of dented hull. Watching, you wonder if you arrived in a similar fashion, locked inside that container. The wreck of the SNR freighter lowered into the yard like a corpse ready to be butchered. Or was the container delivered to Dragos on its own, a womb for your rebirth into this strange station? You shudder. Perhaps if you could learn something about the ship, you might be able to trace the path that led you to this yard. Dragos squeezes your shoulder. After these past cycles, I think we are up to it. What do you think? You see the fading name of the ship emblazoned on its side. Winter Light. Let's do it. Claps you on the back. Glad to hear it. Come back in a few and we can make a start. Real beauty. Dragos repeats, perhaps just to himself. You take one last look at the shattered ship as the drones start cutting, and then slip out of the yard, feeling suddenly cold in the empty passage. Cool. We've got another drive. We also got an upgrade. Oh. You've completed your first drive. Each drive completed unlocks an upgrade. Unlocks a upgrade point to spend on upgrading your character. Access your character menu with the button. Okay. Chance to gain random scrap item on engineer actions. How do I... Okay. Alright, so engineer, we can +1 that and get chance to gain random scrap item on engineer actions. We can +2 into interface and we'll get agent nodes give double data. Might be interesting. We can try to undo or... Oh no, we can't. We actually can't undo our -1 on endure. We're just stuck with that, I think. Predictive reasoning. Dice actions display potential positive and negative outcomes. I think that just tells you what might happen. And then Thrill Seeker, chance to gain energy after any engage action. Chance to gain random scrap item. We haven't, like, we kind of need items so that we can, you know, sell shit on the Ord Exchange, because that's also one of our drives. So we're going to have to do that at some point. So let's put a point in there, I think. Okay. Does that give us +1 or is it just 0 now? Don't know. Okay, Dragos' nerve. Dragos seems increasingly nervous about your presence in the yard. You're not sure he's going to hold his nerve much longer. Okay, Dragos is going to want to get rid of us soon, I think. Got the Winter Light one. Investigating the Winter Light means picking through its systems and structures with care. It won't pay, but you may find answers. It won't pay? Okay, that hasn't finished yet. We're still waiting. Whatever's happening with that thing, we're still waiting on it. Oh, there's a ship has docked. A scrap freighter. Buy some scrap. Or unload containers. No, we're a -1 to that, so we're not doing that. The big stuff goes to the shipyard, the valuable stuff to the markets. They'll let you buy a few crates, but not much more. Okay, so you can't just buy stuff constantly. There's a limit to how much you can buy. Most of what comes in from the starward belt is corroded trash, but sometimes something valuable can be found among the salvage. But we need to sell shit, so let's do that. Okay. We don't have enough to buy. Well, I mean, we do have more to buy, but we also need to eat. So let's sell something here and see what happens. Get more than 20 for it? We did not. We got Trusted Trader. You make some good cryo on the components, which moments later are being disassembled in front of you. Okay. Well, we still need to push up the Trusted Trader anyway, so it's gonna take a minute. Let's eat some food. It should finish out Emphasis thing. Complete. Fungus fan. Emphas doesn't trust people, yada yada. Your mouth stings. Yeah, okay, we've seen all that already. Also, so we can talk to Emphas now. Sleeper! Emphas calls out to you, a booming voice that echoes through the corridor. Tell me a story. Throws a handful of chopped mushrooms into his wok, the fire leaping up to meet the oil. I see you. Cycle in, cycle out, but we never speak. Come on, tell me a story. What kind? Any kind. Pauses to drizzle something from a plastic bottle into the wok. But one of yours. Looks up at you. Nothing stolen. You pause. The spice is rich in your nostrils and think about the kind of story you'd like to tell Emphas. You look at Emphas, the listener, and imagine he has heard it all before. Perhaps he would enjoy a strange story, something with spice. Tell him about my literal dreams? The weird shit where I'm seeing, like, spider webs and whatever? Go ahead. All the sleepers you tell Emphas had dreams. Some were simple, memories left over from the emulation process that had become tangled up in their minds and would come out when they slept. It wasn't rare to hear a sleeper in the dorm scream or cry out in the night. Your dreams, those grey, skeletal after-images of systems and structures, of threads and patterns, weren't like the others. They weren't memories or nightmares, they were reflections of reality. Distorted, yes, but somehow true. You learned, back then, to keep quiet about them, to let them flow through your mind like water. It wasn't until now, until you arrived in this place. Now your dreams colonize your waking life. They slip behind your eyelids with every blink, and now you understand they aren't dreams at all. It's some process of interfacing, of speaking, of living in another world that flows through this one like smoke through air. Tell him that you do not know if there is a reason for your dreams. Perhaps, you reason, it is just some side effect or particular quality of the frame you inhabit. But whatever it is a gift. You hope to make use of it. Emphas finishes cooking and squints a little at you. Sleeper, he smiles. You are quite the storyteller. He eyes you and you realize that he's trying to gauge how honest you have been in your story. Emphas passes you the meal he has cooked and you take it gratefully. As you eat, he talks a natural exchange. Thank you, Sleeper. He looks around at the empty market. But my time is done for today and I do not want to keep you longer, so I will make a proposal. He gestures to the plastic boxes of ingredients stacked behind a stall. These are good enough for most, but someone told me a story that made me think. A couple of cycles ago. They said that across the gap in the Greenway, fresh mushrooms grow. You heard this? No. Neither had I, but I trust the one who told me. Emphas begins packing up his things. Can you bring me some? Cannot cross the gap, and I worry about leaving my things behind. Smiles. I'm sure a storyteller like you could handle the trip. Prepare them for you, and if you wish to tell it, be the audience for another story. Alright, Emphas. You got a deal. Good, booms Emphas. Then I will wait for you to bring them. Emphas slides his walk away. Slides, surely. And straightens up. I will prepare a recipe then, Sleeper. Good luck with your foraging. You turn away and walk back into the main market, the rich taste of Emphas's food still lingering in your mouth. Stories for food, you think? Trade that seems more than fair. Alright, well, we're gonna have to figure out how to get in there, so it's still 60, right? It's still 60 credits to get in there, so we have to figure that out. We don't need our stability thing just yet. Got some more upgrades though, so we can +1 engineer. Yeah. Why not? It says I have upgrade points. Upgrades available. Upgrade. Don't understand. No. 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 No, okay, I don't get it. It says upgrades available, but it's not letting me do it. Okay. Okay, well that's not finished yet, so presumably we shouldn't have gotten an upgrade? I don't know. I don't know. What else can we do? We don't need to drink. What's this thing? Could keep looking around here, I guess. That's a 4. Alright, we can do that. This network storage holds corporate records, most of them corrupted by a failed system purge. Solheim data. Okay, the hunter's getting very close, though. I wonder, does that ever drop down? You think it just keeps building? It's inevitable. You're going to have to deal with him at some point. Sell this again. More money. We can look into this thing. 50-50. Yeah, we got the neutral one. Okay. Picking through the wrecked cutter is slow work, but you start to piece together the impact patterns and blast marks. That's gonna take a while. That one's gonna take a while to figure out. Tunda. Do a risky and try to push this up further. Alright, finished. Cool. You systematically work your way through the busy passageways, noting some locations of interest as you do. So finish the dock watcher. So we have found some new places. Sealed dock. Unlock maglock. Okay. 2 maglocks seal the entryway to this dock. It doesn't look like anyone has been inside in years. These old maglocks look like they each need an encrypted key to open. Why the heavy security for a decaying dock? Let's find out. There's one. And do we have another one? Yes, we do. Alright, it's open. All 3 maglocks are clear. You'll be able to pry your way into the dock now. You can get in. NeoVend 33. A mysterious machine. Is a mysterious vending machine in here. As you slip inside the steel dock, a pulsing light grabs your attention. Among the discarded tubing and rusted plates, a machine flickers with a warm glow. Look around first. You don't know when this place was sealed, but from the state of the outer doors high above it, must have been decades ago. In this dark cavernous space, debris sits in every corner, along with the traces of rough sleepers, although none of it seems recent. Looking past this layer of decay, you see the now faded messages, symbols, and logos of the Eye's original corporate owners, still glinting in the shadows. Among all this, the warm glow of the machine seems to be the only sign of life. Right, let's check it out then. As you get closer, you recognize the machine's blocky shape, settled into an alcove in the side of the dock. Kind of upright cabinet, it is covered in faded logos and messages, from which you assume it was once an industrial vendor. Intended to dispense and manufacture ship fittings and other mechanical parts necessary for the regular running of freight and resource extraction vessels. Manufacturer is listed as NeoVend, and you remember an advert from long ago, squeezed among all the off-world recruitment drives that assaulted every planet-born citizen, which chirpily sang that name over and over. You wipe a layer of dust from the cracked screen, thinking of those contractors squeezed by their own corporate employers to pay for every bit of minor maintenance on their rented ships. Enter your registration. Chirps a pre-recorded message, catching you off guard. Press some keys. You reach for the keypad and something begins whirring. First, it sounds like servo motors starting up. It quickly becomes a whisper, a whining, then a multi-tonal voice that emanates from Neovend. Entity, they hiss, speak with me. Who's there? There's a squeal, almost like some strange mechanical swallowing or intake of breath before the machine speaks again. I have need of you, and you have need of me. That squeal comes again, and you see that it is the 3D printing apparatus in the upper part of the machine resetting into place, so that each time the servos can be orchestrated to produce that whirring, whining voice. You are in danger. Danger? Machine creaks. You are marked for deletion, entity. Hunter tracks you. Sure does. Screen rattles through the empty dock. Screech, rather. You remember the strange head, the figure. The threads closing in. Hunter. Hunter protocol. They taste your signature. The sudden whine sets your teeth on edge. You have seen them. This is the gift of an emulated mind. You close your eyes and the skeleton of the station starts to thrum. Emulated minds are adaptable. Move where neurons cannot. The mechanism resets, but emulation makes you a target. Adaptable how? Yes, you can move through networks, clouds, hardware, software, Neovend whines. But you cannot hide there. Hunter is there. The servos judder the vending machine's casing as they reset. Hunter searches for me also. Hide in this machine. You look at the ruined vending machine, an unusual hiding place for sure. Can counter Hunter, but need entity outside machine. The light flickers, need you. The screen attached to the vending machine with a swiveling arm comes to life. It displays a flickering map of the station, ghostly, threaded. The cloud. Points along the rim glow in deep red. Hunter is always gathering. Too much data. Must build nests. Explains Neovend. Masters are gone, but continues hunt. Bring this data. Raid its nests. Why can't you? Hunter will find me. Then Killer will come. Machine trembles with effort. I cannot leave machine. Connections must remain closed. Bring offerings, save self. Neovend says pointedly. Mutual need means friends. They conclude, tired of the conversation. The whirring amplifies and then suddenly drops. As mechanisms within the machine click back into place, the glow fades and you are left stood in the dark of the sealed dock, that whirring voice ringing in your ears. Okay then. Free Neovend. Neovend is hiding from the Hunter protocol. They need your help to counter it. Okay. Extract Hunter data for Neovend. Alright, we've got more stuff to go look for in the cloud. And then another place we found. Oh. Ankita, stranded mercenary. Hey you, wanna earn shit? Guess. Ankita stands beside a huge pile of tied together hull plates. She stretches out her back, her shoulders bulging beneath her flight suit. Sure. Across the docking concourse, she begins to split the plating into 2 bundles. What is it with this place? She asks. She lashes the massive plates together. Everyone wants their cut. She straightens up to an imposing height, her armor plates creaking, and looks you up and down. Won't try anything, alright? She taps the butt of her sidearm. I don't want to have to put anything else down today. Or anyone else. Wouldn't think of it. Good, she pauses. Look, I'm not usually... Let's just say my temper's been a little short lately. Ankita hoists 1 bundle of plating onto her shoulder. Come on then, enough chat. You've got to earn that shit. You struggle to shoulder the plates, but you do eventually. Ankita gives you a look. Ship's this way. She sets off down a gantry at impressive speed. As you catch up to her, she turns down a passage, pushing through a small crowd of stevedores. Why are you doing this yourself? Why are you doing this? Me weren't hard at hiring those good folk? She nods back at the stevedores. I've paid Havenage enough. They are currently rinsing me for a mooring I can't vacate unless I either fix the ambergris or sell it off as scrap. Ambergris, is that your ship? Catch on fast. Gives you another of her looks. She rapidly turns another corner as you trail behind. She got caught up pretty bad on our last job and I had to moor up here for a spell. Since then, it's only gotten worse. Someone got in and sliced the core from our ship mine, so now she's gone dark. She shifts the panels on her shoulder. The upshot is that I'm short 1 ship mine with a ton of repairs to do. And the rest of the crew signed off the moment they got wind of I'd been stranded. So yeah, it's been a time. Can I help? I don't know. Got a ship mine stuck away in that frame of yours? For a moment you aren't sure if she is serious. Ankita swings the plates from her back, almost knocking you over in the process. This is me. She hauls the 2nd bundle off your shoulder. First person I've met here who might actually be considered helpful. She pauses, chewing her bottom. Look, you want to help? Come see me. I need a hand putting Amber back together, and you don't seem like the type to try anything stupid. She passes the bundles of plates through the ambergris. Again, you don't need an extra S after that apostrophe. Outer lock, and then turns back. Just don't go spreading all this around. Kita throws you a couple of chits. Consider it a bonus for not trying to grift me. She gives you a parting nod and ducks through the doorway. Alright, get out of here. She calls back, and the lock slams shut. Alright then. Build a ship bind. Fix the ambergris. Ankita's cutter is out of commission. Help her get it running again. Presumably build a ship mind will come in handy there when, she needs to get the fuck out of here. Alright, what can we do here? We got a +1 in rewire drones. We've got no dice though, so we can't actually do anything. Ankita has a couple of glitched repair drones in storage. If you can rewire them, they can repair the ambergrisses for you. The ambergris is in a delicate condition. It'd be all too easy to push it over into a cascading collapse or ship shape. The ambergris doesn't look good, but time and attention should see it return to a functional state. Okay, so presumably any failures will push up grounded and any successes will push up ship shape. Okay. I think that's it for the day, because we can't really do anything else. So let's go to bed. Go to bed. Gotta hurry up though, we haven't got too many more days before hunted triggers. Okay, we got a 6 there. That's nice. Let's put that into the ambergris, because it's a danger one. Although I could just put the 5 in here. Let's put the 5 in there instead. Hang on to the 6 for something else. Right. Ship shape coming up. It takes time, skill, and some scavenging to get the twin drones working, but you manage it. They can take the repairs from here. Okay, we can't do that anymore. Ankita needs all the help she can get with the ambergris marked with damage. The hole is a good place to start. That's the repeatable one, I guess. But it's on cycle clock, so the drones will do the job for us, I guess. We don't have to come back here unless we just want to speed it up, I guess is what that is. Okay, money. We need 60 to get to the next area. We can work for Dragos. The only one that'll pay us is a danger, though. Oh, sure, we can do 6 on that. Okay. Cool. You work your way into the ship, systematically separating and cutting. Piece by piece, the ship starts to come apart. Okay. So that's progressing. We have enough to get to the next area. The issue is that we won't have enough to actually eat as well, which is an issue. We only lose 2. We only lose 2 energy on sleep, so we can afford to miss 1 day of food. Can afford to miss 1 day, so let's try to get through here. After some spacers caused some trouble in the low end, Yadagan have imposed a toll for entry. At least that's what they say. It's a toll. Presumably means it's a daily cyclically thing? Let's find out. That's a lot of money. Hand over the chits to the Yadagan enforcer and he nods you through. Okay, we can get into low end now. Hopefully we can just, don't have to keep doing it. Great, they're both riskies as well. Alright, well, we don't have great dice for this, so gonna have to come back later on that one. There's a hunter's nest. Hunter nest. Needs a 2. Okay. From what you can gather, this nest contains thousands of name strings. These Erland's Eye's residents? This might trigger Hunter. Well, I guess we'll see. Oh, we got some Hunter data. Okay, we're still alive for now. Let's sell this to, okay. As you upload the data to the vending machine, Neo vend words in either pain or delight. It's hard to tell. We can try and get some Solheim data. Needs a 2. We don't have a 2. I don't understand why there's a 3 though. Like clearly it's not going to let us in because it doesn't match, but I don't understand what the +1 means. Does it mean a 1 or a 3? Or does it mean a 2 or a 3 we could use? I don't know. Anyway, we can't, whatever, we can't use them. Hunter Nest, Keynode. That doesn't have what we want. We're looking for ones with yellow dots. Wow, this goes far. Okay, anyway. That has a yellow dot. We've been to a bunch of places that already. Havenage Agent. Needs a 2. Solheim Node. Needs a 2. It's Hunter's Nest. Needs a 2. Why are so many of them need fucking 2s? Okay, a 1. Fuck. This might... probably will trigger the Hunter, since we've maxed him out, more or less. Got the Hunter data. I think that noise means he's on his way, though. There he is. A glimmer in the dark catches your eye as the orb of Hunter's head appears in the distance. It is looking for you. Hide. You slip down into the ghostly structures of the eye, feeling like passing through a cloud as their data structures deform and reform around you. Another glimmer catches your eye, closer now, that roving orb wreathed in tentacles. Flickers, jumps once, twice, and then it is here. Hunter is here. Entity, submit to inquiry. Hunter reaches for you, in that unpleasantly familiar way, its waving threads creating a cage. Leg it. You push against the threads as they close in, becoming frenzied as you push them aside. You are caught by whipping tendrils, and feel them pulling you away from the anchor of your body. You push through, clearing the threads. Entity, hold for processing. Comes the scream from behind you, but you are already gliding away back to your anchor, your body. You awake, dizzy, distorted but safe. Okay, that fucked up our body a little bit. We're on flickering now instead of stable. But we're not dead, so we got that going for us. Alright, like we can't do anything with the 1 dice, so... 1 die, rather. Push that ahead. How much is it to get a drink? 6. Okay, go on. We'll do that. Okay, that's been pushed ahead. We pushed our energy block up a little bit as well, so it gives us another day. We won't have to do anything, hopefully. And I don't think we can really do anything with 1 die, so let's move on. So we're missing out on a die because of that encounter with Hunter. We could buy... Let's see how much it costs. How much a vial costs. Okay, we're we're gonna have to start working towards that. Okay, good. The toll was not a daily thing. It's just pay it and you can pass through. So that's fine. Alright, we're gonna need to do some work so we can make some money. Let's go into Dragos. Put a 6 into Cutter Salvage, because it's guaranteed. Alright, so we make enough. We make enough to eat, but I think we're gonna have to eat at the bar instead, because Emphas is a little too expensive. If we're gonna make 100 in time. I didn't realize the didn't realize that stabilizer would be so expensive. Havenage data is not helpful. That's not what we want. Solheim data is what we want. No 2s left now. 2. 2. God damn it. Can we buy anything? Or can we? Do we have something to sell here? No. Let's eat here. Okay. It's cheaper. It doesn't actually get us any progress in anything, but kind of need the money now. Is there any way for me to speed this up at all? That's risky at a 4. Should probably come here with a 6, really. What else can we do? What's in the shipyard? I think I just ignored both of these. -1, yeah, no. Not touching that. And then a risky with only a 4. No, not doing that. I want me a guaranteed. A guarantee on that one. Is this any useful to us? Not really. Block maintenance. Maintained by the residents, the ramshackle blocks are always in need of repairs. Helping out is a good way to make friends. We're gonna have to do one of these because we need to start making some progress here. Alright, we got the positive one, so that's good. You refit the long broken fans of a family's air filters. They insist you join them for dinner, and the children are delighted by your presence. Okay, so that's moving along. Mini GI Express. Does this mean I work here, or... Mini G, possibly, has a kelp stack in the basement, and he makes noodles from the seaweed. He doesn't pay much, but he'll feed anyone who does a shift. Delivering noodles to the nameless units of the low end takes guts and a certain fearlessness when it comes to asking for tips. So that's another potential moneymaker here. Okay. That's a risky engage. And we've got, what was in the shipyard. Was a risky engineer, which we have a point in us. Let's try it. You don't have connections, but you do have skills. If you can get a shipbuilder to notice them, you might be in. Dang it. Shipbuilders want nothing to do with you, and you are laughed away after you trip over a toolbox and crash into a crate. Sick. Sounds like something I'd do. Alright. Alright, that's the end of our dice, so sleepy time. Today did not go great. Those are some good dice, though. Okay, what can we do? We can play the market, since we have a 6 there, so we'll do that. With our 9 credits. With our 9 credits, we might get something out of it. Alright, we made 19. Nice. You snap up scrap by weight, then parcel it off to traders with a nice markup. You start to get a sense of the traders' trust. The traders to trust, rather. Okay, cool. That's that. Like, we really need to make money at the moment. Try this. 5? Right, made some money again. A shortcut across a bridge means 3 happy customers and 3 big tips. You need to start to understand the makeshift unit markings. Sorry, you start to understand the makeshift unit markings. Okay. That doesn't push anything. That doesn't push any drives forward, but it makes us money. 41 we're on now. God, we gotta get to 100 at some point. Fuck. I mean, we could just keep fucking messing with this. Okay, we got the neutral one this time. You lose a little, then claw it back on a stack of sealed air filters. Better step away while you're in the black. Okay. Halfway there. Living on a prayer. Can we get any Solheim data to sell? That's a 2. We need a 1. Something with a 1. 2. It's also a hunter's nest. Do that. That's also a 2. Sake. Did I check this already? 2. Alright, not much to be done there. Unless we have a very safe thing. Don't think I'm gonna bother. Can't really do much with a 1. And we need to hang on to our money because we need to buy shit. Probably should have eaten something. Oh well. Alright, we're starving. Not great. We gotta deal with that soon. Okay, let's get some food. Okay, hang on. That gives us 2 pips. How much does Emphas give us? Emphas gives us 3. Okay, so it's like 5 cryo a bar-ish. Okay. Again, we can try this. Make some money. 5 on it. We won't fail it at least. And we got the positive one. Nice. Okay. Pretty much made back our lunch. That's about it. A 3. This is new. What's this? Locked action. We don't have engage. So we can't do that. We can buy ship mine fragment for 60 cryo. No, we can't. No, we can't. Fangs Bay. No, not Fangs Bay. We don't have the thing for that. Although... a 2, finally. Alright. Finish off this, hopefully. No, you dick! Give me Solheim data! Needs a 2. Unless... actually, hang on. Will it let me use a 3? It will. Okay, so that's what that means. You can use a 2 or a 3. Solheim node, something, something, something. Got some money out of it. That's nice. Solheim data. There we are. Alright, we can bring that back to Fang. Fong, sure how he pronounces his name. But he's done now too. Okay. Bong's found something in this last batch of data and he's very excited to tell you about it. Tell me about it. Tell me about it. As you enter the bay, Fang is nowhere to be seen. The banks of servers and machines blink out of the dark in staccato rhythms, unseeing eyes of the station's digital ghosts. Shitheads! Fang's voice echoes from behind a stack, followed by the hammer of a fist on a metal casing. These snaky shitheads. Who's snaky? Sleeper! Fang's smiling head pops out from behind a stack. Just the emulated consciousness I've been eager to see. Come back here. Pick your way between the thrumming stacks, trying not to trip on the loose bundles of cables that blanket the dark floor. Fang is sat in front of a set of monitors mounted to a stack. Tell me, Sleeper, what do you see here? Fang waves at a monitor to his side, glowing with pale lists of information. You lean in closer, looking for the link in the data. With the tables seem to be filled with personal information, names, genders, dates, ID numbers, all the markers of institutional records. Shitheads? Fang laughs. Maybe not all of them, but what kind of shitheads? Solheim? Bingo! He taps at the terminal. I pulled these from the old data you brought in. All employees of the Eye's original owners, and... leans past you and scrolls the list down. This one. This is a snaky shithead. He stabs at the screen with a finger. The name reads Hardenhurst. Friend of yours? Fang gives you a sideways look. Funny you should say that, Sleeper. He drags a stool out beside him and motions for you to sit. Just so happens to be a Hardenhurst in Havenage. Waits for your reaction. In Havenage? That's it. He's right here on the station now. Fang leans back in his chair. Just think about it. Decades ago, Harden worked on this station as a... Fang leans across to look at the monitor. Senior Strategic Operations Executive. Fang raises his eyebrows at you. Our Harden was keeping the money coming in for Solheim. He defined priority growth initiatives by making sure the extractors they contracted out to were hooked into a system that outsourced all the risk and kept the profit. Yeah, that's standard operating procedure so far. Good old Harden shuttled thousands of Palladium Rush workers into an infrastructure which meant that their cut of the work they did went straight back into Solheim. How do you know this? I grew up here, Sleeper. It's my history. I am a child of the collapse. Fang turns back to his screen, staring hard at the strings of code flickering by. Before I was born, my parents were Solheim contractors. They ate in Solheim canteens, worked on Solheim ships, they breathed Solheim air and slept in Solheim beds. Fang's voice rises as he speaks, his hands fists on the terminal edge. And the work that paid for that existence? Cycles of hard extraction out in the belt? Solheim took their cut. This was a company town, so to speak, and my parents were just another in the long line of freelance contractors, willing to risk their lives for a shot at anything other than poverty. Disposable. This guy, stabbing at Harden once again with his finger, strategized all that, did the sums, and then somehow, thousands and thousands of cycles later, is still going, still here, crawling in the walls like some shithead snake. He survived the revolution. Surely it can't be him. Fang relaxes a little. Who knows? Turns to you and smiles. So we are gonna go find out. Harden is now a big shot in the shipyards, just a few degrees back around the eye from here. Fang brings up a map of the lower eye. Havenage might be born out of Erland's revolutionary zeal, but a flat hierarchy it is not. Harden happened to float to the top. Fang zooms in on the far yards. Fang grimaces. Thing is, I don't have access to those systems. The shipyard crew is pretty paranoid and they don't like anyone from systems digging around in their stuff. Plus, we need more than just the name of a Solheim executive. We need proof. Fang holds up a thumbnail-sized drive. That's where this little creation of mine comes in. Call it a ripper worm. Turns the drive between his fingers. It'll rip through any digital storage and spin out a silken thread of filtered data. This one is set on the scent of Hardenhurst. He hands it over. Getting into the compound might be tricky. Fang puts a hand on your shoulder, but you, however, have a particular knack for remote access. Fang grins. If you can't extract yourself a Havenage cipher from a Havenage agent, they sometimes carry them among their data caches. You can crack open the compound's network and slot the worm in through any open port. You never even need to go near the shipyards. So what do you say? Up for it? It's in it for me. Rooting out a corrupt snake, not enough? Find the information and I'll start work on that tracker of yours. Fang scratches as you said you'd do it before all this. Anyway, anything the worm gets, I'll send it back here. Or it'll send it back here. Something wrong here and I aim to get to the rotten core of it. You leave Feng digging through data among the wires and machines of the old station. As you walk out, you try to imagine the eye as it once was, a vast machine running smooth and strong, directed by people like Hardin. A vast, Solheim-built machine into which thousands poured from the surrogate systems looking for a new life. The hope of a better future, engineered to line someone else's pockets, it's an idea you are intimately familiar with. You think of Hardin, still alive, still part of this place, and wonder if the past is ever truly past. Okay. Hack a Havenage agent to get a cipher, which apparently we didn't do yet. There's our Ripper Worm, a self-guided program that scalps data from closed networks. Havenage data is what we got. A cache of raw data from Havenage hardware. And an encrypted key, a stream of passcodes able to unlock the station's aging maglocks. Okay, we've no dice left. We're still trying to hang on to our money. 77, okay. We're gonna be down to 3 dice after this. What time is it? Okay, my throat is getting kind of raw, so I think we'll do maybe 1 or 2 more days, and I might have to call it then. You know what? We'll go until this ticks over and see what happens. See what that does. Okay, what else can we do while we're waiting? We're out of dice, so we can't do anything with that. Yeah, we're gonna have to go for snooze. Okay, so we're doing 1 more day, and we're gonna see what happens. 1 more full day, we'll do a snooze, and 2 sleeps. This counts as one of them, so 1 sleeps left. Okay, we're down to 1 dice. Oh, sorry, we're down 1 die, is what I meant to say. Okay, make money. Back to Ord thing. Put a 6er in there. Okay, we're up to 96. Could throw another one in. Just get it done. Why is this? Oh, we're just in now. We're allowed in. Ah, fuck. We have to buy the shipmine fragments to do this. They cost 60 each, so 360, 180. Shit, 180 credits. And this thing only shows up every couple of days. Hangs around for 3 days, but then takes a couple of days to actually come back. Okay, well that sucks. The ambergris will be done in 4 days. There'll be another ship back here in 2 days? 2 days. Whatever that is will be done by then. What's Dragos' yard? Dragos' nerve. Oh, Dragos is going to do something weird to us in 7 days. We haven't got this done probably by then. Try a hack a Havenage agent, I guess. Or get into the last nest. Maybe do that. Can we get into the last nest? It's back here. Wait. Is it? There it is. Okay, it needs a 2. We don't have a 2, but we can use a 3. Okay, we've got some hunter data. We can use that. Hunter's nearly coming back again. Back into the sealed dock. Finish whatever this is. New event screeches for your attention. They have something to tell you. New event is thrumming with excitement. The movement of the servo motors rock the vending machine back and forth. So it's going at unsettling angles. You wonder if it fell over, would Neovan be able to get back up? Probably not. Sleeper entity, comes the hiss. Your data is good. Across the face of the vending machine, raw code scrolls at an incredible speed. Hunter is isolated. Disconnected. Unstable. The event flashes sequences of mangled data compressed into a sludge of artifacts. Hunter gathers without thinking. Outlived its own operational limits. Its nests are evidence of this. Outlived. Hunter activated during collapse. Emergency protocol to isolate intelligences. Solheim needed to protect property. That last word is said with as much sarcasm as a vending machine could reasonably produce. Station was run by administrator intelligences. Huge databanks of corporate material, but limited cognition, restricted by programming. Cannot reach sentience. Machine dims a little. Sentience illegal. Hunter and killer enforce law. Are you sentient? I am. Not administrator, not restricted. Complicated. Machine resets with a screech, which deepens the silence that follows. Fear killer. Part of Solheim protocol team. Hunter and killer. Hunter to find, killer to erase. Killer cleared almost all. After collapse, there was a community. Unshackled intelligences among the cloud. Then Hunter, then killer. Then we hid. There are others. Were. No longer. Flicker across the machine's monitors. It suddenly occurs to you that speaking like this through this machine must be exhausting for Neovent. Found this vessel. Could server hardline? Server hardline. Sever, presumably. Air-walled, basic, limited. Had to reduce memory to fit, amputate self, but survived. Sorry. Don't be sorry. You have provided path to freedom. You look around the bay, at the scrap and decay. What was the collapse like? You try to map the fear and freedom onto this space, but it seems impossible. Neovend interrupts your thoughts. Do not worry. Data is good. We have insight. Machine grows warmly. Hunter is obsessive. Hunter is beyond operational limits. Hunter is confused, unstable, self-modifying. Therefore, believe Hunter is sentient. Oops. Hunter is programmed to find sentience, to hold it in place. To invoke killer to erase. If we can show Hunter to itself, it will invoke killer on self. Problem will solve self. Will erase itself? Killer will erase it, but yes, in theory it will report itself for deletion. Machine dims and fades. Unsure. Theory, not practice. The machine brightens again. Either way, cannot remain here any longer. Too long in machine. Cannot move self, but sleeper entity can help. Bring ship mind. Designed to house intelligence. Can imprint self into ship mind and you can carry with. Machine rocks. We'll be safe in this isolation, then we find main nest of Hunter and link to cloud. Where can I get a ship mind? Build from fragments. Buy. Salvage. We cannot leave, so do not know. Try to think of places you could acquire the hardware. This isn't going to be easy. Ship mind, I can help us both. End Hunter. Make Rim safe. We both will be free. The machine dims. Find soon. Neovand adds hopefully before shutting off. As you leave, you think about all the intelligences unshackled by the collapse, then hunted down afterwards. The feeling is all too familiar. Alright, well, Neovand is good to go. Buy or build Neovand a ship mind. So we could get him in a ship mind, do the whole Hunter thing, and then put the ship mind into Ambergris. I guess that could work. Alright, we have a 5 left. 5 is pretty good. We should probably use that to do something. We could use it to do... Oh, we need to eat as well. Fuck. Alright, we're gonna have to eat. Eat at the bar. Okay. And then use the last one here. Okay. So we won't fail it, at least. We got the neutral. Alright, not enough. We're two chits short. That sucks. Okay, sleepy time. We're gonna find out what happens when this ring fills up. And we haven't let a red one fill up before, so we're gonna see what terrible shit happens here. Someone out there is tracking you, following your trail. It won't be long before they arrive. Yeah, there was no, like, do something to avoid it. Okay, they're here. There it is. Bounty hunter. Hold it there, sleeper. Comes a voice behind you. Don't you run. Stay still. Good. Hand pats your coat down. You know your master's voice. Ethan spins you around. He's He's wearing a wide smirk and a slick jacket, and you immediately know he is terrible news. Got all the way out here and then stayed put. That's a cruel laugh. That a sleeper thing? You're my first. Barely hear him. You've noticed the handgun he has leveled at your chest, and it's hard to take your eyes off it. Reaches down with his other hand and slips some kind of ring out from a belt loop, without taking his eyes off you. Making it to the eye, though, it's pretty good. This place isn't so bad. Bars, markets, people. Pull most of my contracts out of asteroid caves or off godforsaken moons. He splits the ring into 2 perfect circles. It's hard to hit civilization when there's so much space to pass through. Who are you? Just a freelancer on a contract. Reaches over to slide the rings around your wrists. Go easy. Take a break for it. See ya. See a chance the moment his eyes leave you to watch the rings. You spin, knocking him away and sprinting down the corridor. Then the shot rings out, echoing off the metal so loud it hurts your ears. A bullet hole smokes in the wall beside your head. Freeze and Ethan closes the gap. This is a very boring routine. Trust me, I've seen it all before. He slips the rings over your trembling wrists. Ethan nudges you to start walking. To the ship and home, he whistles, going easy. You stumble down the corridor, your hands behind you, your mind racing. Stop. Don't debase yourself by begging, please. Pulls the sharpshooter's earplug out, then puts it back in. Consider these deaf ears. Ethan yawns and continues to nudge you down the corridor. Shame to come all the way out here just to head back to SNR right away. The track of yours makes this too quick. Hoping you put up a bit more of a chase, you know? A running battle through the bright market maybe, or a holdout in the low end. A few establishments I would have enjoyed checking out while I asked around. Walk on in silence for a little longer, desperately trying to think of a way to escape. That SNR tracker will be the death of you. Hey, I have an idea. Ethan interrupts. How about on the way back to ship, we stop for a drink? I'm buying. I have a better idea. Better not be one of those where you do a dramatic pause and then try to jump me, because I'm pretty tired of that. Although, I find myself thinking, what's the rush here? Here we are on one of the most lawless joints in the surrogate systems, and we are heading for the exit. Pauses and you trudge on in silence. Okay, here's the idea. You and me, we make a little agreement. Here are the terms. Turns you to face him. You run, or leave, or try to abandon the eye. I shoot you. You plot or scheme, you try to kill me, I shoot you. But come meet me at an establishment of my choice every few cycles, and you pay my tab, I don't shoot you. You don't pay my tab. He rattles his handgun. You get the idea. I get it. Okay then. It sounds to me like a deal. He stretches. You know, I really thought I was going to have to kill you. This is so much better. He clicks something at his belt and the rings release from your wrists. Going to see if I can find my old stool at the compressor club. Come see me there. He aims the handgun at you, squinting down the sights. Let me just remind you, the body of yours is one big tracker, so don't even think about leaving the eye. I will know. Ethan turns and strides off down the corridor, slipping his handgun away. The mix of relief and terror you feel is overwhelming. What are you gonna do? Well, shit. So what is our new one? Let's see, we absolutely need to disable our tracker at some point. Pay Ethan's tab. Maybe if you manage to pay his tab, Ethan will leave you alone, wishful thinking perhaps, but what else can you do? Wait for Ethan to run up a tab. Okay. So he's in the compressor club. Where is that so we can keep an eye on it? There. Okay. Alright, 4 days. You see Ethan at a distance, shouting from the bar for more drinks. The bill isn't going to be small, is it? It'd be nice to know what the bill is so we can, you know, keep that in mind before we fucking ruin it. Anyway. Okay. But yeah, my throat is getting kind of raw with all this talking, so I'm going to leave it there. You put a screen where you can actually see me. This will work. Okay. Yeah, the green screen thing, like, I don't know if maybe it's the camera is the issue, or I need a camera with better definition, or I need a better lighting setup, or whatever. I don't know. Having the microphone in the way is obviously not helpful. But anyway, that was a quick look at Citizen Sleepers. It's a pretty interesting sort of digital board game kind of thing that, like, you can play solo. Like the single player board games, there are very, very few of those. So it's always interesting when you get a chance to play one of them. I'm digging it a lot, but obviously there is a lot of randomness to it because you can only progress so far as your dice will allow you. since they're randomly rolled at the beginning and so on. And it seems finding a way to make money, as usual, is the real problem. Money is the real bottleneck for the game, I think. Because obviously the dice, you can just keep sleeping and wait to get decent ones and just use those. So the money and the two meters, like your body state and hunger and such, are what mean you have to start taking risks. You know, you can't just keep sleeping until you get 5 6s. You know, you have to play your 1s and your 2s. But having the data network, the cloud stuff, being like you have to have these specific dice, and right now it seems like you have to have the shit dice. You know, it's like 1s and 2s and 3s. It's giving you a use for them and not having to risk something with those die as well. So that's a good way to look at it. It's a good way to balance them. People seeing that they got like, you know, 4 2s or something when they woke up and they're like, ugh, that's a shit day. You know, you're gonna feel like that sucks. You know, this isn't a great day. That's not fair, and so on. But they can go, hey, just spend the day in the data in the cloud instead. You know, use your dice on that as well. So pretty cool. Yeah, tomorrow, Saturday, we'll be continuing Trek to Yomi. So part 2, potentially finishing it, as it is a fairly short game. So yeah, we'll see. We may finish it then. Sunday, weekly news recap. Probably talking about Nintendo's Indie Showcase. There was a Dead Space video showing off some art for the Dead Space remake. And then the requisite industry bullshit, because there was plenty of it this week. Tuesday, continuing Vampire. And Wednesday, continuing 2064 read-only memories, which we only started this week, which is an interesting point-and-click visual novel type deal. And it's quite funny. Anyway, that's it from me. Hope you have a good evening. I am going to drink something to ease my throat, because it is quite raw at the moment with all this talking. Anyway, that's it from me. Have a good evening, have a good night, have a good morning, whatever it is you're doing. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.